often do you receive cases of child abuse?
So that goes by, it's a day-by-day basis. So normally we will receive a few cases a semester where it's reported child abuse. And for us as mandated reporters, so anybody that works at a school is a mandated reporter, which means if someone comes and tells us that they're being abused, we have to report it by law or else we can go to jail.
All right.
And if you look at Rialto High School, no, I think it was Rialto High School. Recently, they had a case that some teachers at their school got arrested because they didn't report it. They didn't end up going to prison, but they got in a lot of trouble. And so child abuse can be anything from neglect, being left alone too much, not being fed enough, not being clothed, not sexual or physical abuse also. So I'll say that we usually receive 2 reports a month that our SRO, Officer Wynn, looks into. And then the police determine whether or not it's a case. So we don't do that, we just report it.
All right, and then you and the districts, you guys, whenever you get a case, you report it to the authorities?
Yes, so we are required by law that we have to report it to the police. You have 24 hours, and you can report it to the Child Abuse Report Line with San Bernardino County if you're in San Bernardino, or you can report it to LA. And then you have to provide a copy of your report to law enforcement.
All right.
And so sometimes the San Bernardino, the people you report it to will do it for you, but generally since Officer Wayne, he's next door in my office, I just give him a copy of the report right away.
All right. What are some signs you should look for in child abuse victims?
So when personality changes, so if you have someone who's like really outgoing and really bubbly, and then suddenly they start to wear like a lot of clothes that are covering them up, and their personality changes, that can be signs of physical and sexual abuse. If someone's not eating, that can be a sign that their food's being withheld from them. If someone used to be clean and now they might not have as great hygiene, sometimes that can also be a sign of homelessness, but sometimes we have had cases, unfortunately, where it was parents were withholding hygiene products as a punishment. And then for physical abuse, if you see bruising in places that you don't think to see bruising. If you're walking around and you trip, where might you have some bruises?
Arm, face?
Yeah, you might have some bruises on like your shins or something, or on your forearms right here if you fall. Typically, if you see bruising on the face or on the arms or on the body over here anywhere, that can be signs of physical abuse, especially in little kids. When you guys get older in high school, sometimes that can be signs of sports or you're roughhousing with your friends, but especially in little kids. If there's any bruising on the face, arms, or torso, that's usually a sign of abuse.
All right. And you answered a few of the questions in the first one, so last one, what do you think we could do to solve the issue?
Parenting classes, that any time that anybody has a child, they should have required parenting classes. And then to solve the problem, just lots of education is needed. So we need as many eyes on our kiddos as possible, from high school all the way down to kindergarten and preschool. We just need to make sure that people are being attentive and actually seeing the kids. Because how many kids do we have here at Altaloma?
2,000?
2,500. So we have 2,500 kids. And we have a little over 200 staff. So if you look at that, that's a lot of staff per student sometimes to be looking in on them. And if your teacher is in class and they're not able to get great one-on-one time, sometimes they might not notice. So just making sure that we have enough support on campus to check in with kiddos, from counselors and therapists to teachers and admin and everyone else, to make sure that you guys know if something is happening, you can come tell us, and then we're keeping an eye on you guys too.
All right. Got any questions? No?